welcome everybody to this installment of Live Your Dream Monday. Today I have the great pleasure to have special guest dreamer, the great Ryan Yokome, here with us today. How you doing, Ryan?
Hey Ed, I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me, buddy.
Oh, it's a great pleasure to have you here. Ryan, you've been through a lot of different things in your life and on your journey, from internet marketer, network marketer. I think even you were in construction at one time, maybe even owning your own construction business. And here you are today, starting in 2011, really focusing on helping people in personal development, achieving their goals, and living their dreams. So tell us about what's been going on in your life since you shared your dream on Share Your Dream Friday.
Oh, so much, Ed. Just want to really quickly say thanks for having me on the show. I know I did Dream Friday. Dream Friday was awesome. I had a ton of fun with that, and I absolutely love what you're doing. I know you've built just a phenomenal community, so for me to be able to participate in this is huge, so I do appreciate that. So since Dream Friday, a lot has happened. I've been doing internet marketing for a couple of years now. I've been having some great success. I struggled in the beginning, and then I really started to build momentum towards about halfway through the first year that I started. And what was interesting is the entire time I was doing it, I always enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. But was I super passionate about it? No, not so much. I enjoyed helping people. I enjoyed the coaching calls that I do, and enjoyed the whole aspect of understanding how to market. But at the end of the day, before I did anything with internet marketing, I was heavily involved with personal development. And that was always a field that I wanted to get into full time. But the challenge I was having is I didn't quite have the skill sets to be able to do it. And so it took me, I started learning personal development about 6 years ago, and I started doing internet marketing a couple years ago. And it wasn't until I really started to develop myself as an individual through, a lot of the videos that you've seen me do, just going out there and taking action, getting the experience to get the confidence to be able to do the stuff that I'm doing now. And so the end of last year, which is like a month ago, I went through a huge transition phase where I was doing so much stuff, and I'm sure if you're watching this video you can relate. You're doing all this stuff and you're busy, busy, busy. And at the end of the day, you're like, okay, well, what am I doing that makes me feel good, right? What am I doing that I feel fulfilled when I'm actually taking these actions? And so I actually broke down my entire life, every aspect of it, and just made a decision that I wanted to transition into full-time personal development, specifically the area of mindset, because like I said, that was what I did before. So when I did this show with Dream Friday, one of my intentions has always been to do a lot of speaking engagements, do workshops, create products. I think you remember me talking about that. And so what's cool about that is I totally committed to it. You put it on camera, you put it out to the internet, and now there's hundreds or thousands of people that have seen what your intentions are, and you commit yourself to it. So the end of last year, in December, I reevaluated my entire life, and I said, you know what, I'm going to start building momentum now. So when 2011 hits, I've got great momentum. So what I did, which was really cool, Ed, and I thank you for this, is I started booking presentations and workshops. I did 2 of them in December, which went phenomenal. Had dozens of people show up to each of them. It was a great success. Recorded everything. Had a ton of fun. And actually, at the end of December, I launched my first product. So you talk about setting the intention and then actually going out and taking the action. So I launched my very first product, which is a guidebook called OMG, You Mean I Can Have Everything I Want. And it's essentially a workbook that you go through at 64 pages to get crystal clear about what you want in your life and create a plan of action to get it. So that is something that I worked on for a couple years, and it really took me committing through Dream Friday and other sources to be able to sit down and actually make it a reality. So my life's been busy, man.
Wow, that's phenomenal. That's great, man. Wow, glad to have been able to give you the opportunity to start that and spark that in your life.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, and we all know, whenever we set our intentions and start moving towards our dreams, some things show up. And as you said, a few things have showed up in your life in the last few months. Maybe you could share one of those with us, and we could learn from what happened in your life So for others that are watching that are trying to move towards their dreams, could learn from some of the challenges we've had.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll say is, when I started doing, because I've had some great mentors in my life that have taught me personal development principles for 5, 6 years now, and I've always wanted to actually utilize them as a profession. I've done a lot of, obviously when you're doing anything online, personal development plays a role with, I believe, every single person that you're going to meet that's in a business because, they're going to have to grow as an individual as their business progresses too. But one of the things that I experienced, Ed, and we talked about this a little bit before, is when I actually stepped into doing the workshops, the presentations, creating the products, doing all of this stuff that I absolutely loved, my systems broke down. And it reminds me of chaos theory, which I'm sure you've heard of, Ed. And it's like every single living organism has to go through this evolving chaos period that just looks like the worst experience in your life. And you're going through a lot of things. In my case, I ended up getting sick for 2 weeks. Ended up doing a presentation with a nasty cold. Still did it because I had a bunch of people showing up. But one of the things that had showed up in my life from taking that action is actually the ability to grow as a person from gaining the experience. So not just talking about it, not just thinking about doing it or sharing videos about it, but actually physically taking the action on it and gaining the experience was a complete transformation for me. And it's sort of like the analogy, how you have a butterfly, and in order for the caterpillar to turn into a butterfly, it has to go through a kind of growth evolution process. And that's what chaos theory is. And so that's one of the things that have showed up in my life. It's sort of a different thing to attract than something positive, but in the end it actually was positive because it helped me set back and realize, hey, you know what, I am growing to achieve the life that I deserve and that I will be willing to live, surrounding something that I absolutely love. And so for me, that's one of the things that showed up in my life for Dream Friday. So thank you, Ed.
Hey, my pleasure. I'm just the vehicle. You did it all, my friend.
But I will say real quick to anyone who is going through some stuff, you're going to have setbacks and challenges. Things are going to show up in your life that aren't to your taste. And my personal opinion on that is you're kind of being tested to see how much you actually believe in this new project, this new thing that you're doing, and seeing how bad you actually want it to materialize in your life.
Yeah, for sure. I love that the analogy of the butterfly, and I don't know if you've probably heard the story before of the butterfly as it comes out of the cocoon. It struggles and struggles and struggles to get out of there, and then bursts out and can instantly fly.
Yeah, exactly.
There's these little strings and strands there, and if you click those little strings that seem like they're really small and not really doing much, the butterfly, when it comes out, would not be able to fly at all. It would just fall to the ground and die.
Yeah,
it's those struggles and that growth that you go through in anything that you do in your life that really helps you to get to the next stage. And as you mentioned, the testing, I love that concept. Everything as a test to see how badly you really want to do this. And if you're willing to go do whatever it takes to make it happen.
Yeah, and that's a huge part of it. I know, like I said, this was something that I've wanted to do for a long, long time. And I can remember I was actually talking to a good friend. I said, 5, 6 years ago, I remember going and just practicing speaking by myself for an hour, half an hour, an hour and a half, with no concept about how to actually turn it into a realistic dream. Just knew that I loved it and just totally visualized myself doing it. And so it was sort of like a combination of this built-up energy for like 5 years, and then actually stepping in into doing it, it was like, wow, this is a reality now, and it just feels absolutely awesome, but went through a bit of chaos through the process.
Cool. We also know that people are doing this kind of level of achievement of their dreams in their life. They have a set group of things that they probably do on a regular basis that helps keep them in line with them, keeps them on track. Maybe you could share 1 or 2 of those things that you do, either daily or weekly, to keep you focused on where you want to go and make sure that you're still going there. In the times when, we get distracted or we want to give up or whichever happens there.
Yeah, that's great, Ed. It's an interesting thing because even though you can do something you're so passionate about and you care so much about, you still have to get yourself in motion. You know, you still have to continue to build momentum and do some of the things that maybe you have to push yourself a little bit to do. You know, get yourself moving forward. So one of the things I do to hold myself accountable is every single night I will go through and plan my day for the next day. So I'll write down in an agenda I have, I'll write down the most important things I have to accomplish, people that I have to connect with. I'll write down important things that came up, personal items I have to accomplish. I'll write down everything, and essentially what I'm doing is I'm setting the intentions for the next day. So when I wake up in the morning, I already have a game plan on what I have to accomplish. And one of the things I actually do, and I'm sure you do this, Ed, and a lot of other people, is the first thing I do when I wake up is I will actually immediately wake up and I'll go sit down in this quiet little space I have, and I'll meditate or visualize for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now, when you plan your day the night before, you can actually sit down and visualize exactly what you have to do for that day. So it's like you already have set in stone what you intend on accomplishing. So that's one of the things that I do to keep my focus and my attention. And then when I'm, on the computer, because we all know if you're on Facebook, that platform can suck your time like no one's business. So one of the things I do is I have my vision board beside me with the notepad with the agenda for the day. And if I'm doing things on Facebook or, say, YouTube or surfing the internet, and it doesn't align with something that I intended on accomplishing that day or my vision for my life that's on my vision board, I question why I'm doing it. So I'll look at it and I say, is this going to, A, accomplish what's on today's tasks, and B, is it going to accomplish what I have on my vision? Well, if it's not, then I'll go back and change what I'm doing. And not to say that I don't have fun. I definitely allocate time every day to kick back and watch a good YouTube video. but at the end of the day, we really have to be structured with our time, or else hours go by and we really didn't accomplish anything that we intended on accomplishing.
For sure. I love that. Do your plan the night before, and for me, I do my plans the night before, right before I go to sleep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I also believe in the focus on the what and not on the how. So if you focus on what you want to do and you set these intentions before you go to sleep, while you're sleeping, your subconscious mind will figure out the how.
Absolutely,
And when you get up in the morning and you get yourself centered and focused, or meditation, reading, whatever you do to get yourself ready for that day, boom, it just starts to happen.
Yeah.
And almost when you get distracted, like you're talking about surfing around on Facebook or YouTube or Google or whatever, your subconscious mind will start to go, you know what, hey, pay attention. There's something else you're supposed to be doing here.
That's right.
What's going on?
I'll also add to, Ed, is one of the things that I've done in the past to train myself to be able to hold myself accountable is to have someone else hold me accountable. And one of the things that I did is I had a good friend who I met through several personal development courses, immersion courses that I've taken. He actually held me accountable and I was holding him accountable. And the way I function really well is if there's some sort of consequence in place. So my consequence at the time was if I didn't do what I committed to doing, I had to send him a book that I was going to purchase and $100 cash. Okay, so at the time, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're at financially. Having to send someone $100 cash from nothing is not fun. So, long story short, I ended up not accomplishing one of the things that I said I would do. So, I ended up sending him the Power of Now book with $100 cash in it. And, it trained me to make sure that I'm accomplishing the things that I said I'm going to do.
Wow, that's amazing. Ryan, if there's people that are watching this, that have been watching and following along with the community of Share Your Dream Friday, but haven't really got involved yet, but they're sort of sitting on the fence, they're thinking about it, they're not sure whether they should take the leap or not, what would you say to somebody like that that wants to do it or thinking about doing it, but are just there to make that last decision to jump in or to or to jump out.
Well, here's what I would recommend is if you have a desire with something that you want to achieve in your life, and you know if you do or not, then get on and do the video with Dream Friday. Because even if you're not comfortable on camera, maybe you don't think you're good on camera, whatever the case is, the Dream Friday project to me is not so much about the videos and that kinds of stuff. It's really getting your dream out there so you can make it a reality. And this, the Dream Friday thing is really all about you and sharing what your dream is with other people. And when you do that, you hold yourself accountable to hundreds, if not thousands, of people that are now watching you. And, regardless of whether you keep in contact and make sure that you're holding yourself accountable, subconsciously, you're now holding yourself accountable because you know that you've put that out there to everyone to see. So what will happen just naturally is you will begin to take action towards what you wanted to achieve. It's just what will happen just out of you creating that video for Dream Friday. So if there's anyone who's kind of like on the fence, and I know people who are thinking, I can't get on camera, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to share my dreams because what if they don't happen, and what if I look stupid, and what if it just doesn't manifest, and all this stuff. At the end of the day, you've got X amount of years on this earth. Really, people, what they do want to see is they do want to see you succeed. They do want to see you do well. And most importantly, for yourself, too, that's what you want to experience. So what have you got to lose? Nothing. So the best thing that you can do is just make the commitment, send Ed a message, and just make it happen, and watch the magic unfold from there.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, there'll certainly be a place somewhere around this video where you could put in your name, your email, whichever, and they'll send me a message and get in contact with me. If you're anywhere on Facebook, you know where you'll be able to find me, or on Skype. Those are the two places. Or even on the phone. Call me on the phone. My phone's always available for people to give me a call and talk to me about their dreams. Awesome. Well, Ryan, it sounds like you have had a lot of great things happening, and a lot of great things happening for this year. So if there's people that are looking to find out about what you've got going on, where should they connect with you? How should they find you?
Yeah, absolutely, Ed. That's great. You can head over to my website, which is just Ryan Yokome, YOKOME.com. Got some great information there. You can connect with me there. Or you can always find me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook every single day. That's a great place to connect with me. And if you're in the Vancouver, Canada area, I'm doing presentations a couple times a month right now. So by all means, feel free to connect with me, get you directions on when the next one will be, and we can connect then.
Awesome. We'll have to get together for some of those sessions. And do
oh yes, sir. We will be sharing the stage, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks a lot for joining us today, Ryan, and thanks for everybody for watching this installment of Live Your Dream Monday. And for those of you that want to participate in Share Your Dream Friday, as I said before, just fill in your name and your email, and I'll get back to you. Well, until next time. Keep your dreams alive, my friends, and we'll talk to you soon. Make it a great day. Take care,
Thanks,
Ryan.
Ed.
Bye-bye.